Hey everyone, welcome back to the Content Club with myself, Tina Calder from Excalibur Press. So today I'm going to be looking at something a little bit different. We do an awful lot of consultation and work with authors and other publishers, as well as doing an awful lot of ghostwriting. And we often get asked just for advice and stuff like that in relation to writing books. And it's often very hard to give creative advice to authors because, in my opinion, it's not really up to me whether it's any good or not. It's up to the reader. So what we try to concentrate and focus on is how can we help people be better authors, as in better at the business of being an author. And that's where we really do an awful lot of our mentorship programs, and we do have one coming up in the new year. We're still getting to grips with what that's going to entail, but it's possibly either a 6 or 12 week course. It'll be every single week, maybe for an hour or 2 hours. We're still deciding. And what we're going to do is we're going to take authors through some of the, I suppose, more practical steps of helping you promote, publish, just find out what it is that you exactly need to get ready and get sorted and get organised in order to be an author, in order to present to an agent or present to a publishing company, or to even self-publish yourself. And we are looking at, in the new year as well, doing a self-publishing course where we will take people through all of the nitty-gritty in how to become self-published. So do keep an eye out for those. We will be telling you a little bit more about them. You can, of course, drop me an email at tina@excaliburpress.co.uk if you want to be put on our mailing list to get those details when they come out. But we always update our Facebook pages and whatnot. So if you're following me, you'll find out about it, all right? So what we want to really talk about today is, where do you start? So you've decided that you want to write a book in some way, shape or form, but what you haven't decided is, how do I get that going? So it's not up to me to tell you how to write the book, as in what content to put in there, what vernacular to use, what grammar to use, etc., etc. That's up to you. You'll know. But how many times have you heard the expression, I'm writing a book, and someone else goes, yeah, so am I? In reality, most people want to write a book, and many have even put pen to paper, so to speak, typed something out in their phone. But the question is, are they actually writing a book? And sometimes the biggest problem is working out where to start, or wading through the vast piles of notes and scribbles and printed materials and, whatever else that you've collected when you're germinating your idea. And knowing exactly what you're writing can often help to wade through all of those thoughts that are whizzing around in your head. And that might sound really obvious, but you'd be surprised how many people haven't actually formulated their book in their head before they start putting pen to paper. So if you've got to that stage, and as in you're listening to me and you're thinking, I might do something, there's a high chance that you've either got a good story or a basic idea of what you want the content of your book to be. And you might even be confident around the plot, characters, themes, subjects, issues, regardless of whether it's fiction or non-fiction. And getting all that in one place where you can show someone else or simply take a look at it with a fresh eye yourself can be more beneficial than you think. So that's where some advanced planning comes in, all of which can be amended and edited as you progress through the journey. But for me, there's these little bouts of, excited writing that you do, and type frantically, you're like this. But what tends to happen is you run out of steam, and then that affects the morale, that creates writer's block, and at some point or another the enthusiasm fizzles out. So what we want to do is we want to give you some tools, some quick tips to really find a way of reigniting and keeping that excitement and that fire together, but when you're not actually writing. So there's 6 things that I recommend people do. So number 1 is, in no more than 200 words, I want you to describe your book. So let's just describe it. Condense the story on paper. This will actually help you to develop it, because it'll make you think, what is that what's that small amount of information that I can put together. So if I'm going to describe it to a friend, boom, these are the 200 words that I'm going to use. And you don't have to have had the book written. You don't have to have even started putting pen to paper. What you want to do is just get those 200 words down to describe your book. And then you really want to identify what genre you're writing in. So tip number 2. So think about the exact genre. Is it across different genres? Write them down. Actually write a list. Here is where my book is going to sit on the shelf. Where is it going to sit in a library? Where will it sit in Aeson's or on Amazon? Take a look at the categories available in Amazon and Kobo and Kindle and all of that there. It really will help you to get an idea, get your headspace in the right place. And you could even put some examples of similar books in each of the genres that you write down to help you focus on what your reader's going to want, what your reader expects. And I'd also recommend maybe even putting some cover art pictures down. So if you know that you're going to be in the same vein as the Harry Potter books, so then put a few pictures of Harry Potter book covers in that document, because that visual cue will really, really help to shape and I suppose mould what it is that you're going to do. So then number 3, and this is different from the first description. So in no more than 200 words, I want you to write a movie trailer or a TV ad for the book. Now I know that sounds totally off the wall and everybody I tell this to laughs their head off at me. But if you can imagine that, the movie trailer guy, the guy with the voice, if you can imagine him describing your book or it appearing in between a primetime TV show, it'll also help you to create some visual stimulations for you in the book. You might even find that you'll see things that you hadn't thought of before when you start thinking of it as this, I suppose, voice thing, this visual thing. And it can really help. It's a really fun exercise as well, and it's one that you can get other people's input in, grab a glass of wine, have a bit of fun with it, and it really helps you to, what it actually does is it brings that enthusiasm and that excitement for your book back into your life, when you're having those moments of worry, those moments of creative block, those moments of why am I bothering to do this? Doing something fun like, creating a movie trailer guy script can really help. So number 4, if your book is fiction, in no more than 200 words, I want you to write a spoiler. And if it's factual, then write the main point that you're trying to make. So in some ways it's the same as the movie trailer, only this has a spoiler. This is telling people the whole crux of the book. So what is it that you want people to learn by the end of it, or what do you want them to feel, or what plot, what do you want unveiled at the end? You need that, because you're going to need that when you pitch to publishers and agents and other people. You are going to need that information. You're going to need it quickly and succinctly. So many authors that I've talked to literally ramble to get to the point of, the big reveal or whatever it is. You want to be starting now thinking about, well, how can I say this very succinctly? And also it means that when you're talking to people in advance and you're still writing it, you're not boring them with the minute details. You're getting to the point quickly and effectively. So then point number 5, I want people to identify and write down who their target audience is. Describe them. What else do they like? What TV shows or films do they watch? What other authors are they reading? Are they a certain age group? What do they do for a living? What do you want them to get out of your book? What type of people are they? You'll be surprised how handy this comes in at a later date, because when you're looking at language and you're looking at vernacular and you're looking at maybe some scenarios and things like that, you might want to refer back to this audience and think, will this audience get this? Will this audience understand it? Will this audience connect with it? And so just getting that target audience really nice and clear. And I mean, even go right down into some marketing behaviors and put together your customer avatar. Again, it can be really, really helpful. So my last tip, my tip number 6, it's now really time that you want to write that longer plot synopsis or the description for the book. Keep it at around 500 to 700 words. Pretend you're writing it to send to a potential publisher. Again, this is going to change. Your book may not be finished. It may be finished. It may be halfway through. It doesn't matter. The plot synopsis is key to you being able to formulate what the book's going to do. And of course, your book description, your movie trailer, your spoiler, they're all going to help with this. And you might even want to do 2 different versions, one with a spoiler, one without. And of course, now is a really good time to get feedback. Start with the movie trailer. If someone responds well, you can let them read the spoiler or the plot synopsis, but make sure that you check if they want to know the whole plot. If not, the book description might be the best. And of course, don't be afraid to ask people for honest feedback and explain to them that you want to hear it, whether it's good or bad. Don't let it knock your confidence. You don't need me to tell you that. If somebody says that they don't like a scene or a scenario or a character or a twist or whatever it is, there's a reason for that. Find out what that reason is. Don't just take it that they said they didn't like it. Find out what the reason is, because what you might find is that person doesn't fit your customer avatar, your reader, your preferred audience. And then you can then sit back and say, right, okay, so that person is or isn't part of my target audience. So why do they like or not like something, and can I do more or less of that, or can I adapt, change or amend or whatever. So do take good criticism and feedback. It's really, really important. But again, if you're really, really sure, if you're absolutely sure, don't let anybody knock it. Just plow on, because you'll get there in the end. So there you go. So that is my 6 top tips for what you can do to get off the starting blocks if you're going to write a book, and also some tips that might help you through creative block and writer's block. So as always, thank you so much for tuning in to the Content Club. I know we took a little bit of a swerve into the publishing world there, and we will take lots more swerves into the publishing world over the next few weeks as we prepare to launch our mentorship programme in January. We'll have 2 mentorship programs. We'll have a scholarship one and we'll have a paid for one. We are still working out the details of how our not-for-profit, the Merlin Project, will move forward with the scholarship one. But all details will be on all of our social channels. As always, you can email me. It's tina@excaliburpress.co.uk, and you can catch me on literally every social platform going, except Snapchat, because I just don't get it. So I'm on Twitter @Tina Calder, I'm on Instagram @Tina Belfast, and I'm on Facebook /Tina Calder Journal. Thank you so much, as always, and I'm so excited. We're getting to the end of November, and I think, what have we got? This is our 9th podcast, but in total, because we've launched an interview series as well, and done a little investigation piece. So we've got like 11 or 12 up there now. If you would like to be interviewed, or you have some suggestions for content that you think we may be able to do give me a wee shout. tina@excaliburpress.co.uk, or catch me on any of those social channels. Thanks very much. Have a lovely day.